Hi there, in this video I will go over the Boolean modifier. So I have this cube here selected. I will just add the Boolean modifier from the modifier in modifier stack here. You can see that the name appears red at first, and this is because the Boolean modifier takes another object as input and then performs the Boolean operation between this and wherever object we choose. So I'm just going to add with Shift A and add a cylinder here, just because we want to have some other shape than a cube here. I think it's slightly more interesting. So we select the cube again. We can select the cylinder from the drop-down menu here. And if we right now you can't really see a difference, but if we hide the cylinder here, you can see that it's actually made a cutout. And we can change this from difference to union or intersect, and these tell whatever geometry will be kept. So the difference tells that wherever is left of this object that's not intersecting with whichever object we select here, in this case the cylinder, that will be kept. If we have intersect, it will keep only the intersection between the two, and if we have union, it will keep both of those objects and just merge them together. So if I apply that, you can see, oops, and go into edit mode, you can see that this is now actually connected together. So let's just undo that until we have the modifier back here. Sometimes if I show this, we will get artifacts. So in most cases we want to hide the object that we specify here just to get rid of those artifacts. We just use this as kind of a helper object to cut into this original object that we wanna keep, or union, or whichever operation we choose. So for the cylinder here, I'm gonna select that. I'm going to go into object properties here, viewport display, and find texture display right here, or display as, and I will just say wire in this case, and then make this visible. So that will make this object still visible, so we can see where it is, but not interfere or intersect our original object. So if I use difference, that become a bit more apparent. The difference is probably the operation that's most like 9 out of 10 times with the Boolean operation. We cut into one other object. So since this is a quite simple add-on, but we still use it quite a lot, and there are a few steps, like you have to add a modifier, you have to select the object and the operation, and you might have go in and hide the cutting object, or yeah, this object here, target object. So in order to help with that, we have an add-on built into Blender that we use. It's called Bool Tools. So I'll just search Bool and enable that. So, and then I'll just close out of that. I'll delete this cylinder here and this Boolean here. So we just left with our cube, and add a new cylinder. I'll move that into position right there. Then we select the cube. Sorry, we select the cylinder, and then we select the cube, so that the cube has the lighter highlight, this lighter orange, and this has the more red highlight. And that means that this is the active object, and this object is just selected, so there's a difference between active and selection. And in this instance, we hold Control Shift and B, and this is the function of the Bool tool add-on, and we can auto, difference, union, intersect, or slice. We'll look into slicing because that's not available with just the Boolean modifier itself. It actually does some more operations there. So let's look at the difference between the auto Boolean or the brush Boolean. So the auto will apply this entire and remove the cutting object. So now we have this left, just this object. We'll just Control Z that, Control Shift B, and it's the same for union and intersect. It will just complete that all of that, and just apply the modifier and delete the cut object. If you just use the brush Boolean, use the difference there as well, it will keep this object, so we can move it and the modifier will be kept here, and the viewport display will be set to bounds. So that's the difference there. It's much simpler to just use this menu. Now let's look at the slice as well here. That will just cut between these objects and create a new object for us here. This is another object, and let's just add a bevel here so we can see the effect of that. So it's just slicing in between those for us there, so we get an effect like that. All right, so I'm just gonna remove that, and this as well, and the last object here, and just add a new cylinder. Right, so the last thing I want to show you is that you can select these and use the shortcut keys for the bool tool, which is control, and then you have divide, multiply, minus and plus. So the minus will use the difference like this, and then you have plus and you have multiply, and now I just added those after each other. So plus will union together and the minus will intersect. It kind of makes sense. And then we have also the divide, which is the slice here. So if I remove this again here, select those, just control and divide, that will slice the object. Alright, so I hope this was helpful, and thank you for viewing. Bye.